And because of their enormous talent and ability, it was decided that they were going to cut down on the number of Jews involved in all of these things, and they were going to discriminate against the Jews, discriminate against all whites in general as well, discriminate also, by the way, against most Asians, against Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, and others, because they're also successful in business. Discriminate against them in favor of blacks and other groups that have not been successful, that have low test scores, low IQs, and do not have experience. And so they put people in charge who were completely unqualified solely because of their race. Now, let's make something very clear here. I am not a racist, and JTF is not a racist organization. We are against racism. In fact, on the contrary, when we speak about black affirmative action favoritism that has been taking place for 40 years now and that is now destroying America's financial institutions and America's entire economy, when we speak about this, and we warned for decades, we Kahanis warned for decades that this was going to destroy America in the end. When we speak about this, we're speaking about a system that is racist, and we want to eliminate this racism. I believe that people should be selected solely on the basis of qualifications. People should not be selected on the basis of race. People should be selected solely on the basis of their experience, their qualifications, and their ability to do the job. But Hollywood and the news media and the television programs have all been inundating us for decades about how brilliant blacks are. They're the best doctors. They're the best professors. They're the best engineers. They're the best scientists. They're the geniuses, which is baloney. I'm sorry. It's baloney. Very few blacks are successful in any of these fields. Blacks are not successful as inventors or scientists or doctors or lawyers. They are at the bottom of everything in terms of tests and in terms of achieving things and inventing anything serious. And if you look at black African countries, they are the most ignorant, poor, impoverished, nasty slop houses on the face of the earth. I mean, they'd all be dead now of AIDS and would have all eaten and killed each other already if not for Whitey coming in and helping them out. Let's face it. So, to portray blacks as they've been portrayed for decades now, in every movie, on every television show, as the great ones, the brilliant ones, they're always portrayed positively. Whites are always portrayed negatively. Is just a distortion of reality. And again, it has nothing to do with the color of their skin. I don't believe there's any genetic issue here, and it's not because of the color of their skin. I don't believe in genetics, and I don't believe in that the color of their skin is what determines intelligence or ability here. I think it's a culture. There is a cultural issue here that African culture breeds these problems, and that it has nothing to do with their race. It has nothing to do with their race. If blacks chose to be hardworking and chose to be educated and chose to have good culture and chose to take care of their children instead of abandoning them and having illegitimate children, which is what over 70% of them do every year, instead of doing that, if they chose to have a good, productive family life and family culture, blacks would also be very successful. I really believe that because I'm not a racist. But instead, they have a culture that does the opposite, that expects handouts and that expects everybody to give them something for nothing. And the result of this is that Franklin Raines and Fannie Mae have brought down the entire financial industry. And that because of affirmative action loans that were given out to people who can't repay them, most of these loans were given to so-called minority property owners who weren't property owners. They were welfare recipients or other people who couldn't repay the loans, and they were given the loans solely because of the color of their skin. This is what has caused this catastrophe, and no one is pointing the finger and saying, hey, this is your problem here. That animal bank, Washington Mutual, had a commercial on TV where there was one black banker who represented Washington Mutual and 30 white bankers, and the one black banker was smarter than the 30 white bankers. The 30 white bankers were all stupid and greedy and terrible, and the one black banker was to help the customers, and he was good and he was smart. This is what they have been doing relentlessly for decades, pushing this agenda. And now the chickens have come home to roost. Now the insanity, the suicidal nature of these crazy policies are destroying America's economy. And instead of learning our lesson, we're becoming more and more crazy. Instead of learning a lesson, we're going deeper and deeper into the hole. We had a guy who had no idea what to do and became the CEO of Fannie Mae. He was practically in charge of America's loan industry. one of the most important people in America's economy who was a moron. Just because of his race, he was put in charge. Franklin Raines, who became then Barack Hussein Obama's financial advisor, economic advisor. Now we're about to make, as President of the United States, an affirmative action moron who thinks that America has 57 states. That's what Barack Hussein Obama said. He said he had visited 57 states already. Who mixed up, 2 people were killed in a tornado in Kansas. Barack Hussein Obama said 10,000 were killed. Can you imagine if 10,000 were killed, what a big story that would have been? I mean, this is a guy who has no conception of math, numbers, figures, has no idea what he's talking about. He just reads things from teleprompters and reads lines that are fed to him. He has no ability, no intelligence. When he was a state senator, if you see the answers he gave to questionnaires, he doesn't even know how to spell. He is an affirmative action. And by the way, his Yale, he went to law school and everything else. He was pushed ahead and given these high grades because of his race. He's not more intelligent than the Jewish geniuses that were in his class. What, are you kidding me? You got to be joking. We've got to defeat him. Join with us now before it's too late. We're warning you. You will regret it terribly if he's elected. It isn't too late. Join with us. Together, we can still defeat him. Shalom.